What's up, dwarves? Today we're going to be taking another crack at making the plasma carbine into the ultimate dual status effect weapon with a very powerful freeze and burning effect. The reason it's so difficult is because there are 3 very specific overclocks you need at each level. You need to get both the burning and the freezing effects at the stable overclock levels, and then you have to get the recently redesigned Mark II or Mark 11, not sure which, for the level 18 unstable overclock, which gives a 100% potency multiplier as well as some decent bonuses to both fire rate and reload speed for a very nice mix of stats for any status effect based weapon. That being said, if we get the 2 status effects, almost any of the unstable overclocks will still work fine. It's just not exactly what I'm going for. The sawed-off overclock, especially turning it into a shotgun, is extremely powerful regardless of any other overclocks you get on it, making it one of the best weapons in the game. So as long as we can get some decent status effects with... Oh, well, that's pretty nice. Off to a good start. And then we're going Recon Scout because I think it's actually a very powerful and somewhat underrated class. If you think about it, having a 35% dodge is removing about 1/3 of the hits you're taking, which is boosting your effective HP by about 50%. Of course, it can be a bit inconsistent at times, and if you get one shot or close to it, then you're getting no value from it, so you could get unlucky. Let's go fire rate for the status effect based stuff. But you're also getting the very powerful reload speed and fire rates. No, reload speed and movement speed boost whenever you dodge as well. And also, he's the only class that really gets decent use out of the dodge-based artifacts. So that's a little bit of a plus. I guess something like Juggernaut, where you have such an insane amount of HP and armor that you can take quite a few hits. They're not terrible. We're probably, well, let's go piercing. That helps a lot with applying status effects, and we can get some cool stuff for that. Here, let's reroll, try and find something cooler early on. Chemist Kit kind of fits, but so does that, and I was just talking about that. We'll try the early armor grease, see how it goes for the recon here. I do want the Chemist Kit at some point though. And then we'll put a decent amount into the Zukov. It's very good at applying a ton of effects. I will take a paint shot to pump that up a bit more. It's very good at applying either freezing or the electrical effects. And for a status effect build where you're getting some good status damage, a lot of fire rate, potency, reload speed, stuff like that, can actually do a lot of AoE damage once you get it into the spiral pattern with some decent piercing and all. Reload for more status effects, and then I think I will lock in the electrical. I do like the huge fire rate plus reload speed as well for a build like this. Let's get some shots on him before the bugs get in front. We don't have that much piercing yet. Then we'll try and hit him with some detonators. Projectile damage, it'll help right now, and the shellbacks are pretty painful early on. Try and set these up for him, and then stop him a bit outside. Oops, I might have messed that up a bit. Yeah, I knocked it down too soon. Whoopsie. Potency is nice, but we can get an overclock here. So unfortunately, we can't get the double status effect now, so we'll take the big stats that help with that. So I guess we'll try and go for the burn effect over the freezing, so that we can still do a full status damage build. Okay, got some nice hits there. We will take a blue potency for that. And then we can probably... Well, he's actually low enough I don't really need to care now. So that's good. Reload, yup. Nishanka, I like that's medium to match that with 2 different effects. The downside is it will unlock electrical stuff, but I still think a multi-elemental weapon is very cool for a full status build.
Don't get this wrapped up soon. It's all over, miner.
Big movements. Global damage is nice, that works on both the weapons and status effects. Reload, reloads. I think I want to push this up to 18 quickly if I can now. That's going to be the biggest power spike. Now that we can't do the full combo for the plasma carbine. Status damage, we need a bunch of that still. Big fire rates.
Stage 1 cleared. Be sure to spend your gold and nitro before the next stage.
So we've got some nice Zukov stuff, so that's looking like a pretty important weapon for the run so far. We get the massive fire rate and reload speed now, piercing to go with that, some early XP. Medium reload, maybe later. I do have a lot of gold compared to nitro, I'll grab it. Not super useful, you can take a fire rate there, bit of survivability. Potency and damage is decent. I definitely want some pickup radius, and we don't have much on top of that. I might lock that for a cheap level. Probably not for that. There's plenty of good stuff. I guess we'll take that for now, help out the early game a little bit.
You have your objectives. Get it done, miner. Swing's heading your way. Load up.
Potency or a paint job? Let's push the levels on that a bit.
Supply pod active. Locate the LZ and prep it for landing. Objective completed.
Reload. Manual is pretty solid. We could maybe get a scanner. I only have 2 rerolls here. I think that's pretty solid.
Big swarm detected. Lock up and get ready.
So I guess with failing the build on the very first overclock, you can see why it's been taking me so many tries. Jury rigged is medium. We no longer have kinetics, so that's not a big deal. Cryo would give some nice crowd control. We could maybe mine with that. This can go into either cryo or electric, and electric would fit the build pretty well. This can get the sidearm overclock to buff our other stuff, and can be converted to fire. Just go with the medium that can be converted, I think. Global damage. Paint job to help that out. We're passing on raw damage since that doesn't work on the status effects. And we're trying to make those the absolute strongest possible without too much weapon damage. So with the artifact fully stacked, we have 45% dodge, which is almost doubling your effective HP, as long as you're not getting one shot. You won't have it up when you're mining like that, though. Reloads. Big fire rate, I'm fine with that. Not the best weapon for it, but still a legendary. Reload into an overclock, and we got the burn at least, so we saw only one of the overclocks so far with two choices. I guess we'll take the damage for a level here. Nothing I'm super interested in. Fire rates, let's go ahead and try to get that up to level 18. That'll be a massive AoE increase with all of the status effect lightning going everywhere. That's a tough choice. This will be a lot more damage overall, and we are pretty early still, so we have a shop coming up as well. More status, yeah, we should probably take that. That'll work on every weapon here eventually, I think. Fire rate is great. Big fire rates. Fire rate, yep. We might have to take some hits for this, but we do have a lot of dodge, and that will give movement and reload. Another status. I could probably use some more pickup radius. We're pretty light on that, with no weapons that can pick up stuff for us. I guess we could have damage numbers on for a while, but that will definitely get a bit silly later on. Reload, yep.
Stage completed. Onwards to stage 3.
Luck. We can get that to level 18 for 32 Nitra. We didn't even find the Mark II, so we have to take the sawn off. This is very good at doing a ton of bullets into enemies for a lot of status effect stats, so it's pretty good. It's probably best in slot, but the other one is what I'm trying to do a test run for, and it's just never showing up in these runs. Yeah, decent number of status effects when we can shotgun them in the face like that. Piercing is very nice, and here's the death spiral. Yeah, we are definitely not going to be able to keep numbers on for the entire run. This is what it's like on floor 3. Potency, I like that. Medium reload's also pretty good. So we're going to want to convert that to electric now. Big reload, that's fine. Chemist and multi-tool are both really cool. This might not be that great currently, but it's such a fun combo with the weapon box. I think I'm going to take it anyways. We're at 61. It goes to 90. That's pretty solid. But weapon box is my new favorite artifact, so I love taking the artifacts that pair nicely with that. That and the turbo encabulator, which gives global reload speed and damage based on the number of overclocks you have. Fire rate damage, I guess take that for the level. It's pretty far behind still. Shellback should be no problem now with the carbine fully overclocked. We'll be able to stack a ton of stuff on him as he runs past us in close range, I think. Let's see. Well, the flyer's already dead and we're not even trying to hit him. Oh yeah, right here next to the wall he's already dead, yeah. Let's actually not kill them that quickly since we can farm a lot of XP still. Medium reload is the only thing that helps status effects here. Reloads, and we can add a firebolt. I would have to get either the Nova or all of the shots at the same time for that to do anything. We don't have any freezing currently, so that would give us a unique effect that's pretty useful for the builds. Yeah, let's go ahead and grab that, I think. Piercing is quite nice for that. I think I'm just gonna take the level here over a green crit chance for our non-status damage. Big mining speed, we don't have any of that yet.
That's one for the books. Taking you to stage
I like potency on these. It's not super helpful for leveling the weapons, but there are main ones. Reload. It is pretty low on that.
I'm raring to try this out.
That'll be most of my nitra, but oh well.
Please, nope. Try again.
Big fire rates, some more mining, bit of global reload.
This is a simple mining mission. Get it done, miner.
Danger and darkness. Here we go.
Well done. You got them all.
Loot box looted.
Numbers!
Hold on, you.
The scanner just lit up like a Christmas tree. We got a swarm incoming.
Sign every time I have to pick up.
Big swarm detected. Buggerman, get ready.
Global damage is just better than that. Magnet, we can maybe avoid that. Save it for later if we go back in the other direction. That is so many numbers.
Can't drop supplies for you yet. Prep the landing zone for impact.
And that's a lot of heavy rocks. I guess we're gonna have to push through here with the detonators going off soon. Should punch a way through. Let's go fire rate over damage. Status, yep. Oh, that was the other one. We do have the combo with the multi-tool if we ever get the weapon box. But we could also go every dodge artifact for no apparent reason.
You don't see these every day.
And I don't even have the weapon box yet. Damage, I guess we'll take an overclock here. Electrical, yep.
Baby. You're cute. You're dead. Double this.
Orders satisfied. The drop pod is arriving. Get moving. It won't hang around.
Let's try and take some hits here so I can get the movement speeds. Paint job.
Gather up your gear and get on.
Fire rates, paint job, we need the levels there. Piercing is nice, I will take a blue for that. I'm trying to take some hits, but we had enough time anyways.
Stage 4 is done. Onwards to stage 5 we go.
Didn't really see anything super good there. Fire rates, reload. I like some more movement.
Show me more.
Fire rates. I will grab a potency, I think. We can at least see how good of a burn weapon it is this time.
Shake it up.
We'll lock that. Don't care too much. That's fine. But we're already down 77 gold for that, so I think I'm gonna hold off. And grab a little bit of HP to go with our dodge for now.
And watch out for elites. Keep your cool. You will make it out just fine.
Open.
It would be cool if they added some sort of other effect you could get on dodging to go with that stuff, since with the damage one stacked up we can get over 50% dodge. And I think the only effect that occurs on dodge in the game currently is the Recon passive, where you get a bunch of move speed and reload speed. But something else that would work on the other classes would be pretty cool to go with those, I think. Potency. It's probably going to end up doing more plasma damage than fire damage, but I'm going to give it every opportunity to succeed here, excuse me.
We got too much clutter for the supply pod to land.
Right under the egg. Bit of fire damage or a bit of a nitra. 10% just seems so low. I think we're gonna take the extra weapon upgrades here.
You don't see these every day.
I've been passing up a decent amount of some of the stuff I want, like fire rate and reload speed, since we didn't have enough of that. Fire rates. We need to have an open shot towards them, and then they're pretty easy to clear, but otherwise they just build up a ton. So digging around in the back of rocks like that is actually kind of dangerous. Let's get some big burns on him in melee range. The shotguns will hit a lot more often. So more electrical, more burn. reload there is okay. That works on 3 weapons. That's probably okay with all the levels I've put into it. Grab some global upgrades. We can actually use the rocks to bounce more shots onto him with the plasma carbine here if I want to maximize the single target a bit. Bit of armor, sure.
Objective completed. Dreadnought threat eliminated. Drop pod has arrived. Get there before the timer runs out. The drop pod is not going to hang around.
Reloads. I want to get that up to 18 if I can.
Aggressive work, Miner. The Dreadnought never knew what hit it.
Grab our massive fire rates and we can be a bit more
Yes, please.
open to grabbing a lot of nitro upgrades. Medium is decent. We're kind of light on gold. I think I'm going to hold a little bit in case we find some nice status. I can't... No, I can get both of those if I want. And reload's pretty good on that since it doesn't fire that many shots each time. Clip size of 2. We can double that. And I think we will
One almost makes it
potency into a massive stat increase
too easy.
and a bit of
Take
movement.
this one.
You have your objectives. Get it done, Miner.
Mineral.
I think that only really does anything on the super late stages, and we have a nitro scanner, so I'll grab a bit of gold here. Pretty underwhelming hoarder there. I guess you could take the ancient knowledge to get it out of the artifact pool, actually. That might be worth it still. But the levels themselves aren't going to do that much early on, since each level takes more XP than the last.
Prepare to fight for your life. Big swarm is approaching.
Sorry, miss. Your own fault.
Can't drop supplies for you yet. Prep landing zone for impact.
Potency.
What makes me want to be a better dwarf?
It seems like when we get all of the shotgun shots on the same enemy, the burn stacks actually do become pretty significant. But I think a lot of the trash mobs are dying before we get too many of those. That definitely won't work with the dodge thing. And we could have had something there if I had taken it earlier. I'm gonna see what else there is at this point. Coupons, we have a few more shops to go. Either that or gold scanner. I think we'll go with the coupons here. Bit late, but oh well. Yeah, like on that guy, he has about 25% of his HP as damage over time. And we could go a lot higher than that, it seems like, still.
The swarm is heading your way. Load up. Objective completed. Excellent job.
You shouldn't need precious minerals. They will definitely help.
Fire rates. We can lead the shellbacks into a small area like this and then absolutely obliterate them with stacks from the carbine. And then those guys should be fine now. We can run around and do whatever. Or they can run in and die a bit early. But we still have a flyer up to farm a little bit.
Can't hang around forever, Reidan. These powers are your friends. The clock's ticking, Miner. It is wrapped up.
Reloads.
This is growing out of hand. Get it done, Miner. Well done. Objective completed. Drop pod has arrived.
Let's turn off numbers here so I can see where I'm going. Big HP goes pretty nicely with the tanky artifacts.
That elite never stood a chance. I will see to it there is a beer on the house when you make it back. If you make it back.
Global damage is great. Some nice stuff here.
Epic upgrade. That next.
Can't really get that now. Movement speed is okay. Fire rates. I'm gonna grab some more mining speed in case we find the turbo encabulator again. Bit of pickup. Still have a decent amount of gold.
This one.
Status is good. Bit more pickup.
You've got work to do and quotas to meet. You have your objectives.
I hope this mission will pay off handsomely. Open.
Objective completed. Excellent job. Swarm detected. Get ready. We'll be with you shortly.
Yes, we got the hordes.
Decent reload. Gold tipped is actually
I'll take it.
almost certainly worth it. Even if we're not holding that much as a global damage increase, it works on both the weapons and the status effects.
Prepare to fight for your life. Big swarm is approaching.
My burst damage on that hoarder was surprisingly high considering I have almost 0 weapon damage here. It's like 95% plus status damage.
Scavengers lit up like a Christmas tree. We got a swarm incoming.
The spiral from the Zukov can get pretty silly when you're close enough to land every shot at the same time.
Supplies blocked. Get the landing zone cleared.
Reload for applying stuff. There's a few levels left, and the encabulator would be extremely good, so we're building for the dream. Don't think I care. Kind of late for another nitrous scanner. Powder is okay. Doesn't work on the status effects. It'll give a decent amount of crit for the weapon effects. I'm not sure we can do better in 2 more rerolls. Pickup or reloads? How's the pickup? We could definitely use more. It's getting kind of late.
I can't get enough of this rare stuff.
We got bugs sign the likes of which I've never seen. We got bugs sign the likes of which I've never seen.
That's probably good enough. Let's go in and shotgun him to the face. Fire rates. I will take a blue over a green damage.
Well done. Objective completed. Drop pod has arrived. Get there now. It will leave without you. That elite never stood a chance. I will see to it there is a beer on the house when you make it back. If you make it back.
Reload and fire rates. We have a decent amount. We'll save the rest for some
I'm feeling lucky.
levels to try and finish off the overclocks there. Reload's good. Damage doesn't do a whole lot. I'll get a bit more armor.
Nothing for me here. Let's
Luck,
try again.
cheap reload. We don't really have that much gold, it's
I'm gonna do
fine.
something epic with this.
Should be pretty tanky now with 45% or higher dodge chance. Decent amount of HP, a little bit of armor.
When this is done,
damage. So fire rate or piercing for here. 11 piercing. This is for every weapon though.
Exemplary work. You achieved your objective in record time. Swarm detected. Get ready. We'll be with you shortly.
There's enough detonators I think we can eventually AoE through here as some of them die. Potency. I don't remember the boomstick unstables being super useful for a build like this. It's okay now, and we could get it out of the pool, I guess.
Don't see these every day.
Potency to finish that off, or piercing for our second weapon.
Barely go for this one.
Damage isn't that great, but oh well.
Upgrade's gonna change my
And we have 3 bullets, so either of these is fine. We have pretty good AoE between these two, so let's go with the single target here.
Try kicking it.
Paint job is a bit wasted. We'll grab some fire rates here. Paint job, but the others don't matter too much, so I guess we'll take it.
Cosmetics.
Oh wait, twice as many. That's actually fantastic. And the 20% damage actually doesn't really affect us that much since we're fully into status effects. I forgot about that. That's actually quite good. Luck. We have 1 shop left. No, 2. 8 and 9, I guess.
Gotta move it, miner. The bugs are gunning for you.
What if there was a mutator where when he says the bugs are gunning for you, some of them started wielding guns and shooting them at you? That would be so sick, man.
Objective completed, miner. Get to the drop pod before it heads back to orbit.
I guess some HP here. Not a lot of time for that, and that's just pretty low.
That elite never stood a chance. I will see to it there is beer on the house when you make it back. If you make it back.
Electric and potency is decent. We don't need that anymore, so we can focus the upgrades on these two, I think.
Nope. Try again.
Potency is nice. Reload is decent. Yeah, it fires pretty quickly, that's fine.
Cowabunga.
I Don't think so. It's okay.
Next.
Status is great. Fire rate is pretty nice. We can grab that as well.
I'm gonna be the best survivor. Let's shake it up.
Ooh, we missed out on a piercing by 1 nitra. Rip.
Gimme, gimme,
Global is good. Bit of reload.
gimme. Yeah.
And then May as well.
This is a simple mining mission. Get it done, miner. Swarm detected. Get ready. We'll be with you shortly. Objective completed.
I killed the loot bug, and I'm not proud about it.
Can't send in supplies until you clear out the landing zone.
Piercing is not bad. Mocap can be decent. I'd really like weapon box. No, we never got the encabulator. I guess it's not that important. Let's see what else there is. Ooh, chemist kit. Yes.
Makes my whole life better.
Swarm detected. Get ready. We'll be with you shortly. Swarm is heading your way. Load up.
Medium reload is pretty good. The clock's ticking, miner. It is wrapped up.
Sorry, you're all complicated.
Time's running out, miner. The pub's heading west.
Now that they're getting super ramped up, we can go shotgun them in the face again. Reload is fine. I kind of want to jump into the boss and see if we can delete him before he deletes us, and the armor will probably help more with that. We're probably going to need to get a bit lucky with the dodges, but we'll have 45% or higher, 50% at 1 hit taken, or 55 at 2, so there's a pretty high chance to dodge a bunch of his hits, at least.
That elite never stood a chance. I will see to it there is a beer on the house when you make it back. If you make it back.
The 2 shotguns and the death spiral should have pretty incredible damage when you're landing every single shot on them.
I rarely go for this
Probably
one.
don't need piercing for that. Potency is fine. We can probably do better for the gold. Reload. Nah.
What else?
Fire rate is good. Armor will help with that.
Been dreaming of something like this. Let's shake it up.
A lot of fire rate and some potency. And that's about the best we're going to do to attempt to man mode the boss here.
Destroy the cocoons and take out that dreadnought.
When this is done, I'm starting my own bloody mine. That's what's down. Show them what's done.
If I can run in right as the Nishanka freezes him, and then we get a couple dodges, I might have a good like 5 seconds or so, where I can get absolutely maximum damage on him. But he could also land every hit and just kill me in 2 shots.
Supply pod LZ's blocked. Please clear it out. One crate of goodies on the way, miner.
Fire rates, fire rates. I think this will be stronger if we can stand in the middle. And then massive fire rates looks pretty good. That works on all 4 weapons. Actually, if I leave a tight area for the plasma to bounce off of... Oh, there's 2 of them. That's unfortunate. Looks like I have plenty of damage. I guess I could maybe try it here. Oh, I should keep moving for the artifacts. Probably can't, but we did kill that guy when the other was around 50% HP. I think it might have been doable if we got the single dreadnought. Oh, I forgot to turn on damage numbers for the boss. Rip. Couldn't see the maximum stack damage there. But it's also very important being able to see until you get to that point.
Pod is about to leave. Get your ass moving, miner.
Let's see, got the chemist towards the end, a lot of fire rate there, some scaling with resources, wasn't really holding that, just spending it all with the coupons. We got the double dodge for the lulls, even though the reflex didn't do a lot. I didn't mind the armor grease, that's pretty good. Bit of extra movement speed to go with it, a lot of reload speed over here. Full status effects with three electrical actually, 1 acid and 1 burn. Very little weapon damage, so we'll have to see how that actually played out. The status effect wasn't that high, only 167%. That definitely could have been better, but we had a lot of fire rate and a lot of reload speed to go with it at least.
Congratulations. One less dreadnought to worry about. Management sends their regards.
So we had 38 million burn and 45 million on the base. That's not terrible. Like I said, I think it was actually hitting them so much it was killing the trash mobs before they were burning a whole lot. For electrical, we had 3 different weapons. One of them was split type and one of them was converted in the middle of the run, so I can't really do that. We had at least 40 to 50 million electrical, I think. But I can't really do much more than that in my head. 16 million, so we probably had at least 8 million for the acid dot on the bolt shark. About 14.3 million stacks across our first 3 weapons applied overall. Not too bad, build felt pretty powerful, even though I almost entirely skipped weapon damage. But that's going to be it for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.